Hello again, everyone. Heads or Tails living here. Just wanted to stop in here and talk a little bit about food preparation. And been seeing a lot here lately on different chat rooms and so on, where people are trying to figure out what's the best way and how they go about things. My very first suggestion would be to start with a meal plan. Go through the week, figure out what your family eats on a regular basis and things that they enjoy. Things that you know are going to be used quite often. Once you've figured that out, make sure you write down every single ingredient that you're going to need, so that way you don't come along and you've got everything but this one item and then you're out of that. Okay? Now once you have all that sorted out and figured out very well, take it and times everything by 4. And whenever you go shopping, try to get 4 of each one of those items. In the long run, that will give you an entire month worth of meals that you know your family will eat. Even if you got to move things around just a little bit, I've seen there's another channel out there that I hope they don't mind me sending y'all their way, but it's Big Family Homestead. They do a very great job at planning out for the month, at the beginning of every month, what they're going to eat all the way through. Now, if they change up their mind, they'll take one day and switch it with another one. And I find that to be a very great idea. That will let you know exactly where you stand when it comes to what you have on hand, what you need if you don't, and just what your family can have for that night. If you change your mind, you change your mind. You also know that you have everything for the other item that maybe you guys feel like you're more interested in having that night. And then the day you switch it for, you know you should have everything you need for that night. But they do a very good job at getting everything sorted out. And I would definitely suggest going and giving them a look. Now there's a lot of PDF files out there. It kind of gives a grid matrix, I guess, of being able to list out your items, how many you have, and their location. Or there's many different files out there that you can kind of resource that are a very good item to have just on hand. Now, I always keep a clipboard right there with where our food is, and when we take an item, mark it down. That way, when it comes time to go shopping, just take that one piece of paper with us. We know exactly what we do have, what we don't have, and how much of whatever that we need, just to kind of keep a regular supply up. Now this is kind of a what some may call a working pantry. There's a lot of people out there that will have their working pantry, and then some will call it their prepper pantry, something that's put back for a little bit more long term when it comes to food. I would definitely recommend this. That way you can kind of work your way through your working pantry and just keep those items up to date and fresh, to where your more long-term storable things can go in the other one. That way you're not putting something that, say, only lasts 3 months in your long-term, and then you forget about it and come back later and you don't want to eat that. There's a lot more information on the best by date on the cans, how long the food actually lasts beyond that point. There is a difference between the two. I've seen plenty of times where a lot of people think that best by date is a end date. Once it hits that date, they need to get rid of it, and that's truthfully not the case. Now the nutrition value and maybe even the taste might start to go down after that point of that best by date, but that does not mean it's not still edible. Now I recommend you're not just taking my word for it. Put some research into it. There's plenty of information out there on the best by dates and expiration dates, and how long some food lasts stored this way and how long some food lasts stored that way. But just something to keep in mind. Now, there's lots of different ways to store things. Now, there's obviously the normal methods that you hear about, canning and vacuum sealing or vacuum packing. Trying to put things in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. The simple freezer. Everybody, if you don't have a good freezer, I definitely will recommend it. Now, obviously, if the power goes out, you're going to have an issue there. I do prefer things that are shelf stable. That way you know that they're going to be there when you need them. Whether you have the power on or whether it's knocked out for however long it's got to be, that stuff on the shelf is going to be good until you go to grab it. Some other things that I would recommend is whenever you put your food, wherever you're going to be storing it, put whatever you buy to the back. That way, whatever needs to be used first is always in the front. And I've seen to where, I apologize, I forget the name of the channel, but the lady went ahead and was even taking the Best By date and taking a Sharpie and just writing them on the top for quick reference instead of picking the can up trying to find the date. And sometimes the dates are small or they get worn off very easily. It just seemed like a good idea and seemed to help quite a bit. But anybody that's out there on, say, a low budget or just working with what they can, don't feel discouraged when you see these people with this large amount of food tucked back. It's taken them a while. We have a little bit tucked back here, and what we do have, it's taken a little bit to get what we have. Do what you can. Either grab an extra item here and there, and it will eventually add up. Or like I suggest, whenever you need one, try to buy two. And that will add up very quickly. You kind of be surprised at how fast. But in some way, I hope this helps at least one person out there. If it can reach at least one family and get them set in a better situation for whatever may come along, or just the winter. This is all worth it. That's what we want to do here, is just help people. Try to hand out any information that we have gathered over the years from various different places, whether it be handed down from my family or things that we've read, or just anybody trying to pass along a little bit of information as well. And I hope you all do the same thing. If we can help others out, we should. My grandfather used to always grow a little bit extra in his garden, so that way they would have enough, and then he had some to give away for anyone that might need it. And I think we need more of that in this world. It didn't take very much to do that little bit extra, but that little bit extra very well could have meant a lot to someone else. But from my family to yours, have a great day. Thank you, everyone. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and to hit that little bell icon so you'll be notified whenever we have something new come out. Thank you for all y'all coming.